happening, guys? This is Jacemachine, and today we are playing Starmade. I have a couple of things to show you. Yeah, this is part of what I wanted to show you. It's not it, though. Not entirely. This is part of part 2. I'll talk about this in a second. But I think I'd much rather show you this down here. This is the Salvager Dali Mark II. This is, of course, a salvager ship. This is a strange design for a ship, and I want to tell you guys about this right right at the start. The main reason this is a strange design is because it has an exterior core, and that is not something I recommend. It's something I'm showing you guys because of the way that I built the ship initially. And this is a starter ship. I'm going to try to show you guys what to do and what not to do as part of this series, right? So, a lot of stuff I'm planning... Oh, that seems to be missing a door here. Wonderful. That's basically like a storage area, by the way. This here, if you come in here, you got a bunch of chests. And basically, this is so while you're out mining and like asteroids and things like that, you're able to store extra stuff when your inventory fills up. But you still get into and out of your ship through the ship core. And I have the ship core at the most vulnerable spot on a ship, which is right here. So that's an awful place to have the ship. But this is not a fighter. This is a utility vehicle. You know, this is designed specifically for salvage missions. It has a hyperdrive or a jump drive so that I'm able to get out of harm's way if I need to, and it has decent engines. You know, I've been, working a little bit off camera, as I said, so... Oh, hello, hole. Sorry about that. I always hate when I fall into a hole when I'm talking. But we've moved the dock from up there down to here. Mostly because this thing was too big to fit up there. There we go. Again, as you can see, I'm using the modded version of the config file, and that allows me to use just a docking module and no docking enhancers to dock this ship, which is clearly outside the bounds of normal docking. But the idea is that I wanted this thing to look very utilitarian, very kind of, construction-y. I didn't want to have too many, protrusions or wings or anything that's sticking out, because if this was like some sort of construction vehicle, it might have to go into wreckage and in and out of things. So I guess what I was going for was in design was basically making those underwater robots that went down, and you use them, they're on tethers and they go and they take footage and they can sometimes bring items back, but they were used in the Titanic and other things like that. That's kind of the inspiration, I guess, with my design for this guy here. Now, I want to show you something about placement of your core real quick. So let's fly up and out of here just for a moment. Oops. I keep hitting the space, which is the build mode. Alright, I've decided just to land on the top plateau that I cleared earlier today. And let me show you. Oh! You see that right there? That is a huge consideration, guys, when you're building a spaceship, alright? Basically, your center of mass, the part that's drawn to the ground, whatever, it seems to be the one part that carries the most weight, if you will, is your ship core, alright? So, make sure that you don't really put your ship core on the front of a vehicle, first off. Secondly, try to make sure that when you're building your spaceship, if you want your ship to be able to land on planets and not do this, then you have to place your ship core, somewhere in the belly of your ship, somewhere centrally located, somewhere, protected, so that space pirates and other players can't shoot your ship core out. Because that's what happens if you're flying through space and you get attacked. You can withstand a lot of damage. You even have shields sometimes if you put shields in. But if they get your ship core and they destroy that block, it's done for, man. This ship here is designed to be docked specifically and so I don't really care that it's top heavy. And again, I was just designing it as an initial ship, but I wanted to still use it and keep it throughout the series. But you know, this particular design has its limitations. So when we do our next ship, I'll show you what to do, obviously, with the different placement of the core blocks, and we'll do some other stuff with that ship, because this is a salvager. Our other ship's going to be something a little different. Now, I cleared this area because I think I'm going to be working on the base. I got all this gray hull, and so I think what we're going to do is put something up there. So that's what we're going to do today. Pretty sure we got everything we need. What I need to do now is manually collect all of this, because if I use my salvager ship, I'll bore a hole right through this and into my base below, and I don't want to do that. But I do need to get my hands on this without removing it in build mode, because then it doesn't exist anymore at all. At least as far as the ores and like any of the crystals that might pop up are. But I'm going to take these out, and then we'll get building. I'm going to fill up all these holes with some of the stone that I have here as well. And one last piece. There we go. Alright, so we're going to set the build block down, and we're going to get working here. One of the first steps that I do when starting a build is I make sure that I put down a footprint. So that's what we're going to get started with. As soon as I get the footprint of the building in place, we'll take a look at it and we'll start from there. Alright, now that we have our footprint in place, you can see that we're ready to start building. Basically what I did is I indicated where the doors are going to be with some red hull in the ground. We're going to be using, like I said, the gray hull, and then I also added this little stair passage rampway that we're going to have here, and of course that matches right up to where we started from. So let's get this thing going. I think right here we're going to have some sort of power core. I want to see how far down I can put this, basically. Like, I don't think it's going to bump into my base at all, because my base that I've been using is right here, so I could probably dig this pretty deep. So that's going to be one of the goals overall, but not necessary for today. I do want to make sure that we get some sort of power grid going. Okay. And remember, when you're placing your power modules, don't stick them side by side like this. Stick them in long columns and put them at corners with each other. Also, I wanted to make sure that I included this shaft that I had as part of the original build with the new one. Alright, with a little bit of background music from Bug Zero, we are going to get started. Alright, we're going to take a minute to go into advanced build mode real quick because we're going to put the roof on. It's just going to be a flat disc. It's not going to be anything too crazy, I don't think. But I want to do symmetry mode, and I also want to set a couple of different planes here. We're going to want to have the YZ plane, right? First things first, let's get this one here locked in. Because it wants us to. Oops. There we go. Is it locked? Yes, it's very locked. And so now we're going to go and we're going to try to pick a second direction. I think it's the blue we're going for. Is it the blue? Yes, indeed. Alright. So let's set that right there. And if everything is going according to the plans... Yep, there we go. I'm going to keep that punched out there, actually, because I have plans for it. Oops. That's not the plan I had. There we go. Back to fast forward. Not exactly sure if I like this little bit here. I don't really like this bit right here. I'll tell you that much straight off the bat. What I need to get in order to complete the build is a bunch of wedges and things like that. We need to get some more caution blocks, because I'd like to put those pretty much everywhere there's a door. We're going to put the caution blocks. And check out this. This is that blue asteroid that we mined the other day. That is really cool looking. It's marbleized. It almost looks like water. And then this here is a green. It's clearly green to you. You have eyes. You can see. Let me just remove this chunk of dirt here. We'll put a light here so we can see better. How's that? Alright, so we got that. That looks really cool. Looks like cells in a plant or something almost. Maybe not in a plant. I don't know. I'm talking out of my arse. We're missing a power block. Oops. There we go. That looks just fine. So, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to end up cutting this little area down deeper, and we're going to extend the power reactor module coils down. Whatever we want to call them, I suppose. Yeah, we're going to remove this whole area down here below, but that's going to be off camera. That's some boring stuff to watch. Even may take these, because we got a lot of power reactor modules, probably stick them out the top a little bit more. This is sort of like, I don't know, like a storage or medical room. Or is this the storage medical room? I'm getting confused. Alright, this is the front door. You come in here. This is actually supposed to be a room in and of itself. I think I may have messed that up, so we'll just ignore that for the time being. Alright? Maybe put a couple of blocks here. We'll come back and we'll fix this later, but that doesn't matter. Here is a back entrance. Put some stairs here, just in case, you know. And here we have that same problem, you know, and the reason is because I didn't place the doors in the center. I didn't want to place the doors in the center. I kind of like things to be all centered. Asymmetry is alright with me. Here is a doorway. This, of course, like I said, goes down to the ship area right down here. So as we get wedges and things, we'll make actual ramps. We're going to replace all the floor, probably with different stone. Maybe continue this, but we'll see. I know I use a lot of hull in my builds, so we might use some hull there. And eventually what I'd like to do is actually turn this into an actual gravity well. But we'll get to that when we get to that. We're going to stick these lights right here in the corners. And that'll really brighten this room up. That's the only thing that this place is a little bit on the dingy and dark side. I'd like to get lights better placed. Let's see, what sort of capsules do we have? We have Gisper, that's an orange capsule. And then we got Rammet, that is that purple. And Varret. How's this going? Let's go in here. We got Certis. We'll put some Varret in here. Get out of there, Larimar. We don't need you, crazy fool. Nox. Ooh. Dude. That is so awesome. It's like a lava lamp or something. And why is this missing? There we go. Wow, that's awesome. Is that is the Nox capsule? We have the Jesper, the Hetel. We know, of course, the Hetel. Take a look at these guys in capsule form if you can, real quick. If you look down here, you're going to see that these actually have a little crystal shard floating in the middle of them. Like that. Same with this guy right here. And with this guy right here. So if you're just looking on your screen and you're trying to figure out, well, was this a crystal or an ore? You can tell because there's a little crystal in the middle of the crystal ones, and the ores are just solid. Alright, let's try that. There's that one again. We got Rammet. Rammet's a nice purple. Bastin. That's the same thing I just put there before. Hetel, we know that's the yellow. Bastin Matisse. There's a red Matisse. Alright, well, let's see here. We can always put some of this yellow Hetel from floor to ceiling right here. That'll help brighten the place up, certainly. Yeah, that looks cool. Let's do it on the opposite end, and then in order to conserve, we'll do a different color on the other two ends. I am a fan of the color red, and that... Oops. That looks pretty slick right there. Oops. Stop it, Jace. Let's see, how does that look coming in? That doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. I wonder if we should put some sort of wall up around it like this. Probably be smart in the long run. Maybe not this particular block, but we'll look at something. So that's that. I think we are gonna go hop into the spaceship real quick. We're gonna go into outer space. But first I need to drop some of this off in a chest. Let me just shut this. And we're gonna go around front. Alright, where to go, where to go? I am going to go take a look. Let's see what we have in the navigation computer. Anything else up here? Nope. We can go down there and grab one of these meteors. But I think what we're going to do today is going to pick out a planet and we're going to go visit it. Alright, we're going to go visit this red planet here. And it looks like we're about to pass our old ship that we ejected out into space. That's ridiculous. Hello, replacement. Goodbye, replacement. Alright, what type of planet does this look like here? This looks like